The night of eternal day. Shadows and secrets. Miguel and Rosa emerged from the basement, their hearts pounding in their chests. The group of townspeople, led by Maria, stood eerily still, their faces blank and unreadable. The silence was suffocating, broken only by the faint hum of the old house settling. "What is going on here?" Miguel demanded, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and anger. "We know there's something you're not telling us." Maria sighed, a look of resignation crossing her face. "You weren't supposed to find out this way," she said softly. "But now that you have, you deserve to know the truth." She motioned for them to sit down, and the townspeople dispersed, leaving just Maria and a few others. They gathered around an old, wooden table in the center of the room. Maria took a deep breath and began to speak. "Many years ago, long before any of us were born, a strange object fell from the sky and landed in the forest just outside of town," she explained. At first, the townspeople thought it was a meteorite, but it was unlike anything they had ever seen. It emitted a strange energy, and those who came into contact with it began to change. "What kind of changes?" Rosa asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. "At first, it seemed like a blessing," Maria continued. "People became more productive, their minds sharper, their bodies stronger. But as time went on, the changes became more profound. People stopped needing sleep, and their emotions became dulled. They lost their sense of time, their days and nights blending into one endless cycle of work." "And you just accepted it?" Miguel asked, incredulous. "We had no choice," one of the other townspeople said. "The energy from the object spread through the town, affecting everyone. Those who tried to leave found that they couldn't. They would get lost in the forest, always returning to the same spot, just like you experienced." Rosa shuddered. "But why did you keep it a secret? Why didn't you ask for help?" Maria looked down, shame etched on her face. "We were afraid. We didn't know how the outside world would react. And over time, we became resigned to our fate. The town prospered, but at a great cost." Miguel and Rosa sat in stunned silence, trying to process what they had just heard. The implications were staggering. An entire town, held captive by an alien energy source, their lives forever altered. "But there's more," Maria said, her voice growing more urgent. "The energy is changing again. People are starting to act differently. There have been incidents. We need your help to stop it." "Incidents?" Rosa asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "What kind of incidents?" "People have started disappearing," Maria said. "Just like you saw last night. They vanish without a trace, and we don't know where they go. We think the energy is becoming unstable, and it's affecting people in unpredictable ways." Miguel felt a cold knot of fear settle in his stomach. "What can we do to help?" Maria looked at them, her eyes filled with a mixture of hope and desperation. "We need to find the source of the energy and shut it down. The old scientist who first studied it believed there was a way, but his notes were lost when he disappeared. We think the answers might be in the forest, where the object first landed." Miguel and Rosa exchanged a determined look. They had come to this town for a vacation, but now they were caught up in a mystery that was far bigger than anything they had imagined. They knew they couldn't turn their backs on the townspeople. "We'll help you," Rosa said, her voice firm. "But we need to know everything. No more secrets." Maria nodded. "I'll tell you everything I know. But first, we need to prepare." The forest is dangerous, and we don't know what we'll find there. They spent the rest of the day gathering supplies and planning their expedition into the forest. Aling, Maria, and a few of the other townspeople joined them, their faces set with grim determination. As night fell, the town once again came alive with activity. Miguel and Rosa watched in awe as the townspeople went about their work, seemingly unaffected by the lack of sleep. It was a strange and unsettling sight, but it also fueled their resolve. Early the next morning, they set out for the forest. The air was thick with tension as they made their way through the dense underbrush, following the path that the old scientist had marked on his maps. The forest was eerily silent, the only sounds the rustling of leaves and the distant calls of birds. As they ventured deeper, they felt a strange energy in the air, a tingling sensation that made their skin crawl. After several hours of hiking, they reached a clearing. In the center stood a massive, glowing object, partially buried in the ground. It pulsed with a faint, otherworldly light, casting strange shadows on the trees around them. "This is it," Aling Maria said, her voice trembling. "The source of the energy." Miguel and Rosa approached the object cautiously, their hearts pounding in their chests. They could feel the energy emanating from it, a powerful force that seemed to vibrate through the air. "We need to find a way to shut it down," Miguel said, his voice determined. "There has to be a way." They began to search the area, looking for any clues or signs that might help them. As they did, the air grew colder, and a strange mist began to form around the object. Suddenly, they heard a voice, faint and distant, echoing through the clearing. "Help me, please." Miguel and Rosa froze, their eyes wide with fear. "Did you hear that?" Rosa whispered. "Yes," Miguel replied, his voice shaking. "It's coming from the object." They moved closer, and as they did, the mist grew thicker, obscuring their vision. The voice grew louder, more insistent. "Help me. I'm trapped." "Who are you?" Miguel called out, his voice echoing through the clearing. "I was the scientist," the voice replied. "I tried to stop it, but I failed. The energy consumed me. Please, you must shut it down. It's the only way to save the town." Miguel and Rosa exchanged a determined look. They knew what they had to do. They just hoped they could succeed where the scientist had failed. With a deep breath, they stepped into the mist, ready to confront the source of the town's nightmare and put an end to it once and for all.